Here are 5 things that I've witnessed as a death doula that I will probably think about for the rest of my life. If you're new here, hi, my name's Casey. I'm an RN and a death doula, and I've sat beside hundreds of people as they've labored out of life. Number 1, a dying woman whose husband had been dead for 10 years. She loved him so much, and they had the most incredible marriage, and I knew he was going to come get her when it was her time to labor out of life. When she was in her last days of life, I told her, don't be afraid if you see your husband. I believe he's gonna come and get you and walk you home. She said, as a matter of fact, he's already here with us right now. He's sitting over there on the couch, and he wants me to tell you that he is so happy to finally meet you. It gave me chills then, and it gives me chills now. Number 2, the woman who hadn't been able to move or speak for over 2 days. I spent the whole day with her in the hospital advocating for her to get the best care possible, and it was time for me to leave, but before I left, she made a noise, and I stopped and looked at her, and like she had all of the strength in the world, she jumped out of that bed, and she stood up beside me, and she wrapped her arms around me, and she gave me the tightest hug, and she whispered in my ear, "Thank you." And then she laid back down in bed, and within a few hours, she died comfortably. I will never forget that. Number 3, I had a client who was really passionate about dying at home, and she had 2 dogs and 2 cats, and she wanted to die surrounded by her fur babies, and she did. It was absolutely beautiful. When she died in that bed, her animals were curled up next to her. They knew the moment that she died. They all sat up and they surrounded her, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I will never forget that moment. Number 5, and arguably my favorite story, was when I was working with a client and she was in her last moments of life, and I whispered into her ear, I don't know what comes after this, what comes after death, but if you're able to come back and find me in some way, you better do it. You better come find me. 2 days after she died, I was in my front yard, and out of nowhere came a deer. And this deer looked me in the eye like we were long lost friends. It walked directly up to me, and it nudged me with its nose. I just kind of stood there in awe because I wasn't really sure what to do with a wild deer. I believed then, and I still believe now, that that was her. She came back to find me and to let me know. If you want to learn more about death and dying, make sure to give me a follow. I promise you'll never look at death the same way again.